Hi students, from today onwards I will teach a chemical bonding chapter. Okay, so after periodic table chapter you are studying about chemical bonding chapter. After this chemical bonding again you will study the atomic structure chapter, which is taught by the first sir. Okay, and in this chemical bonding chapter very important thing is this is related to so many other chapters or the remaining chapters which you are learning furtherly, and this chemical bonding chapter has more weightage in NEET point of view or in JEE point of view also. In recent years, if you observe the NEET question papers, you are getting at least 3 to 4 questions from this chemical bonding chapter. Moreover, in the chemical bonding chapter, what you learnt will be very much useful for the other chapters also. We always explains about the structures or about the molecular geometries or about the hybridations, everything, or about the bond formations, different types, bond break, bond new bond formation. All these things we learn in this chemical bonding chapter, which will be applied in the future chapters, which we are learning in future. Okay, so always try to listen and try to understand this chapter, and you will get more marks also from this chapter. Okay. So in this chemical bonding chapter, first we start with the why chemical bond formation occur. What is the need? Why chemical bond form formed between atoms or between ions or between molecules? Why do they form chemical bonds? What is the need of forming a chemical bond? Without chemical bond, why we can't imagine the world? So atoms are there. Why can't we send? We have only atoms. Why we are getting molecules? Or why we can't only have ions? Okay, if ions are present, why they are getting converted into molecules again because of some attractive forces? And even after molecule formation also, why they are having some attractive forces between the molecules? If you observe all these things, all the scientists tried to find the reason for this, and in that the most successful one is first said by the Cauzel and Lewis. Cauzel and Lewis, they proposed a theory, that is Cauzel-Lewis theory. Here, Cauzel-Lewis theory of a chemical bonding. This is the first theory which is given about the chemical bond formation by atoms or by the ions or by the molecules or by species. In this theory, what they found? Mainly, first, Lewis gave that Lewis symbols. You know Lewis symbols, or it is also called as Lewis dot symbols. Here, it is called as Lewis dot symbols. What is this Lewis dot symbols? You know, here Lewis dot symbols means generally Lewis explained about the valency electrons of atoms, and he also found that valency electrons are responsible. They are responsible. They are responsible for chemical bond formation. They are responsible for chemical bond formation. What about these valence electrons? Do you know? Suppose I am giving sodium. I think you know about the atomic number of sodium. This is 11. The atomic number of sodium is 11. So atomic number of sodium is 11. Whenever the sodium atomic number is 11, how we can write the configuration? I think in 8th or 9th or 10th, you study this, I think 9th and 10th mainly, 2, 8, 1. This is the configuration they gives like, but here you will study like this configuration also, 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s1 configuration. Here it is first shell, this is second shell, this is third shell. The first shell 2 electrons, second shell has 8 electrons, third shell has 1 electron. So this is the configuration of the sodium. And in this, what is the valency shell? Here, if an atom is taken, for example, this is the nucleus of sodium, this is the outermost shells, three shells we are having. In this first shell, we are having 1s2, and in the second shell, we are having 2s2, and this is 2p6, and the third shell, we are having 3s1 configuration. Means it is clearly indicating that the valency shell means that is the last shell, outermost orbit. Outermost orbit is called as valency shell. The electrons which are present in the outermost orbit are called as valence electrons of atom. Okay, and the valence electrons are responsible for chemical bonding. What about the remaining electrons? He called them as core electrons. Core electrons means here what? The inner electrons. Here inner electrons means except outermost orbit, means here 1s and 2s 2p. These electrons are called as core electrons. So valence electrons are responsible, not the core electrons, for the chemical bond formation, which is explained by the Lewis first. And what is Lewis dot symbols or Lewis symbols for elements? Suppose I said 11 is the atomic number of sodium, and here sodium atom, when they are writing, they can write the symbol of element as Na. How many valence electrons it contains? 3s1, or it is 1, only one electron. So this can be indicated with a dot only. It is indicated with a dot. Okay, suppose if you are taking a lithium, for example, lithium is taken. Lithium is also having 2, 1. It is atomic number is 3, so it is indicated with configuration 2, 1. So in the valence shell of lithium also it contains one electron, so 1 dot. And suppose if it is beryllium, beryllium means atomic number is 4. So what is the configuration for this? 1s2, 2s2. The valence shell is 2 electron. So beryllium can be indicated as with 2 electrons only. Here this is 1 electron and this is 2 electrons. And next, suppose boron is taken. I think boron, we know about that atomic number is 5. If boron atomic number is 5, then what is the configuration? For boron, I am writing here atomic number 5. So it is 1s2, 2s2, 2p1. Then boron is having how many electrons in the valence shell? 3 electrons. So 3 electrons we can indicate like 1, 2, 3. And carbon, if you are taking the configuration 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 2p2 for this, because carbon is 6, so it has valence shell 4 electrons in the valence shell. So 4 dots we can indicate. And next nitrogen, here 1 and here 2, 3, 4, 5. Total valence shell electrons are 5 for nitrogen. So this is the Lewis dot symbols to indicate the elements and their valence electrons present in it. And Lewis found that valence electrons are responsible for it. Okay, what they said, why the chemical bonding formed or why chemical bonding formation is occurring is explained by the causal and Lewis theory. So, okay, Lewis gave Lewis dot symbols. After this Lewis dot symbols, okay, please observe this. I will give 1 minute. So what they observed by the causal and Lewis, what they observed means, in this first what they observed is, in this first point they observed is, atoms are trying to acquire stability. To acquire stability or to get stability, atoms are participating in chemical reactions or in chemical bond formation. Means here, suppose if you are taking stability factor is inversely proportional to energy. Means if you are taking atoms, atoms are having more energy. Atoms are having high energy, and because of their high energy they are becoming unstable, and so they lose energy by the chemical bond formation and they becoming more stable. So to acquire stability, first and important reason for chemical bond formation is to get stability. Atoms are telling unstable. Why they are unstable means they have high energy. When they are having high energy, then they are becoming unstable, and so they get lower energy by forming a chemical bond and becoming stable. Second important thing is to get octet configuration. Octet configuration or the nearest octet configuration. We can write nearest octet, nearest noble gas configuration. We can write it as nearest noble gas configuration. So this is the another reason. So why atoms are participating in chemical bonding means first thing is because to get the stability. Second thing they observed is to get the octet configuration of the nearest noble gas configuration. Why they are trying to get the octet configuration? They observed simply that in the entire periodic table, only the elements, that is noble gases. Here, noble gases are stable. Stable, or we can say they are inert. They are inert towards chemical reactions. They are not participating in any chemical bond formation. You can write helium as He only. We are not writing as He2, He3, He4. Or neon we are writing as Ne. Or argon we are writing as Ar. And krypton we are writing as Kr. Xenon, Xe. But not we are writing as Xe2 or Kr2, Ar2, Ne2, He2. Or we are not writing as He3 like now. So atoms are only present. They are not present as Ne2 or He2 like that. Mean they are not combining with any other atom. They are not forming any chemical bond. Noble gases are highly stable or they are inert. Why means their valency shells are completely filled. If you see, except helium, helium is having 1s2 configuration. The remaining are having 2, 8. We know that it is having 2, 8, 8 configuration. Or I am writing normally 1s2, 2s2, 2p6. See what is the number of electrons present in the valence shell? 8 electrons. 8 electrons means octet. So here 2 electrons only present. How we can say this octet? It is not octet. This is called as a special configuration that is called as duplet configuration. Okay, so as per Clausius-Lewis, atoms are trying to get stability. First thing. Second thing is to get the nearest noble gas configuration. Atoms or ions or molecules are trying to form chemical bonds. Why noble gas configuration they are trying to get? Why it is the need of getting noble gas configuration only? Here, noble gases are found to be stable or inert towards chemical reactions or chemical bond formation. Immediately they observed why they are inert or why they are stable. Then immediately they went to the valence shell configuration of those noble gases. Immediately they found that they have completely filled valence shells, the outermost shells of these noble gases. So except helium, duplet configuration it has, the remaining elements are having Ns2 Np6 configuration, which is called as octet configuration. Because of this completely filled valence shell octet configuration, they are not participating in chemical reaction or chemical bond formation. So this is the stable configuration we concluded, and so the remaining elements are trying to get the stable configuration. So in their journey to get the stable configuration or unit configuration, they are trying to participate in chemical reaction or chemical bond formation. Okay, how they participate? If you see that, suppose I am taking sodium. Here, sodium is present. Its atomic number is 11. What is its configuration? 281. Means how many electrons present excessively for it to get the nearest noble gas configuration? What is the nearest noble gas configuration of sodium? Nearest noble gas is neon. Neon atomic number is 10. So the nearest noble gas for the sodium is neon. Okay, so to convert this into neon, it loses one electron. So sodium here, how they gets? Neon is losing one electron and it is converting into Na plus and E minus. Now this Na plus is having only 10 electrons in the valence shell, which is the configuration of 28 or neon configuration. So it becomes stable. And next, for example, chlorine is taken. Chlorine is having actually 17 electrons. Here the nearest noble gas for this is argon. Argon atomic number is 18. So to get the nearest noble gas configuration, it will try to acquire one electron, to gain one electron, and then it is becoming Cl minus, which is 18 electron or argon configuration. So some elements will try to lose, they lost their electrons and get the nearest noble gas configuration. And some elements will try to gain the electrons and they get the nearest noble gas configuration. Okay, sodium loses and chlorine gains. But what about carbon? Carbon atomic number is 6. Here its configuration is 1s2, 2s2, 2p4. Here carbon, if you write like normally 2 comma 6, 2 comma 6. Here, sorry, 1s2, 2s2, 2p2, 2 comma 4. So to get the nearest unit gas configuration, how many electrons it require? What is the nearest unit gas for carbon? Tell me. What is your answer? The nearest unit gas for carbon is, yes, you have two nearest noble gases. One is helium, another one is neon. Because helium atomic number, I am giving here, helium atomic number is 2 and neon atomic number is 10. What is the carbon atomic number? It is 6. So from this to this, if you want to convert, how many electrons required? It requires 4 electrons. Means it requires 4 electrons, it gains. And if it is converting into this one, it loses 4 electrons or it lost 4 electrons and then it converts into helium. So helium or neon, nearest unit gases for carbon, but is it possible to gain 4 electrons or to lose 4 electrons? Means it is not possible, because by losing 4 electrons or by gaining 4 electrons, it is not losing its energy or it is not becoming more stable. So it is not losing electrons or not gaining electrons, neither losing nor gaining electrons. So how it can participate in chemical reaction or chemical bond formation? Then it will try to share the electrons. It will try to share the electrons, and that is the third way. That is, the first way is by losing, second way is by gaining, and third way is by sharing of electrons. And finally, Clausius-Lewis proposed a role which is called as octet role. Very important one, octet role. What is this octet role? In the periodic table, except noble gases, in the periodic table, atoms of elements, atoms of every element will try to lose or gain or share the electrons to get the nearest noble gas configuration or octet configuration. So every element must try to acquire stability. How they get stability? By getting octet configuration. If they are getting octet configuration, they become stable. That is called as octet rule. But what about BeCl2 molecule? Is it having a octet configuration? Okay. What about BeCl3 molecule? In this molecule formation, is this getting octet configuration? Boron is getting octet or beryllium is getting octet configuration or not? That is called as the limitations of octet role. We will explain in the next class.